Jeff O'Neill Show.
Powered by PlayNow.com.
The Jeff O'Neill Show welcomes to
our suite in Vegas, bitches!
a person of magnificent character. A person well respected by their peers. A person who's done some stuff. Please welcome this person.
Here's Kopitar trying to make some room to Richards. Oh my goodness, what a save by Luongo. He kept that out. What a save by Luongo. And Luongo managed to stop that right on the goal line. He's in, shot, won't stop. Oh, beauty by Roberto Luongo.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one for the Vancouver Canucks. He's an Olympic gold medal winner, a semi-pro poker player, and a hero to millions. Holy crap, he showed up. It's Roberto frickin' Luongo.
Roberto, thanks for coming today.
Thanks, guys. It's been fun.
First off, is there anything off limits? Anything you care not discuss? Anything that we should watch our P's and Q's over?
Well, I was not impressed with the semi-pro poker player.
Oh, nice one. Nice one. Is this your first interview since the season ended?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And you got stuck with us?
I know. Well, might as well start somewhere, you know?
Got to start somewhere.
Did they tell you that you were going to be talking to Fox Sports as opposed to the Jeff O'Neill Show?
No, I knew it was the Jeff O'Neill. So,
hey, listen, Roberto, when it comes to Twitter, this has been, and I won't say it's the number one question that's been asked on our behalf for you, are you Strombone 1? Because if you're on Twitter and you're a celebrity like yourself, there would be that little certified, that little check mark that would prove that, yes, this is authenticated. This is the actual person who is posting. Strombone 1 doesn't have that. Is that you?
that's a great question. You know, I've heard a lot about this Strombone 1 the last little while. And, you know, I think he's really funny. So I don't particularly tweet that much.
All righty then.
Okay.
So is that a no?
I think we just got politician, but that was a good one. That was a good one. Roberto, a little bit of an easier one. Our poll question yesterday was, do you pee in the shower? For everybody. And I'm a shower peer. Jeff's a shower peer. Karen is a sometimes shower
She's
peer.
a liar.
I said I did it.
Sonia with PlayNow.com. She says she doesn't.
We're asking
Liar.
the hard-hitting questions,
Yes.
aren't we? All the other sports radio stations in Vancouver are tuning in. Oh, maybe they'll find out something because they won't return our calls. Do you pee in the shower?
That is a great question. And I've had that issue with a lot of the boys this year in the locker room. And I'm not a big fan of peeing in the shower because, you know, it splashes around and then we go.
Well, not the public shower.
Yeah, there's
but at
rules.
home
You can't do it in the public shower.
Yeah, you can't do it with
Well, why would I pee in my own shower? That doesn't even make much less sense.
So if you're on the road in somebody else's ring, we're pissing all over the pan, whatever, cruising over.
I just don't want to splash on other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Maybe actually you're whizzing on me. This is getting awkward.
Talking to Roberto Luongo, who is joining us. You're here for the World Series of Poker main event, which is tomorrow. Is this the first tournament you've been in since the season ended?
Well, I've played in some small tournaments back home.
Was that just with the buddies or actual tournaments?
No, I did casinos, but they're smaller. Obviously, this is nothing of this magnitude, and I'm just really super excited to be here.
And when do you start?
Tomorrow at noon.
And tomorrow at noon. Do you realize, because I was looking through some of how this works, if you do well tomorrow, and you're expected to do well because you're actually pretty good, you'll semi-pro actually. You'll start at noon and you'll be done it goes to like midnight, 12:30 in the morning.
I know it's a long grind, and I've had some long shifts online, so I think I can handle it, and I'm just looking forward to it, and hopefully that come late at night I won't be too fatigued.
And does the family stay here for the entire tournament as long as you're here, as long as you're in it?
Well, they're here for at least 4 or 5 days, and hopefully I'll still be in it by then. And if I am, they'll probably head back home, and I'll finish it up.
How do you prep for it? How do you get yourself in like game mode for your?
Well, I think first of all, you need a lot of practice. I think playing tournaments is something that you need to get used to, and you have to have the patience for. You know, a lot of guys want to play every hand. I think in a tournament like this, you just got to be patient and be able to do nothing for a couple hours before you play hand. So I think I can do that, and obviously the mental strength to be focused every hand and not have that lapse where maybe you might make a mistake and lose all your chips.
Roberto, the World Series of Poker main event works out. They're going to whittle down the 6,000 to 7,000 people, which you're going to be part of. They get the November 9. They get the 9 players, and they take about a 3-month break, and then they play the final table in November, which is during hockey season.
I know.
So what the hell's going to happen when you become one of the November 9 and you got to be playing hockey?
I'll be playing poker in Vegas. That's just going to happen.
Just the way it goes.
So do you call in
That's a
sick?
no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
Can you put some of the rumors to rest? Let's talk hockey. Mention hockey. We'll bring it up here. Did you ask Mike Gillis to limit the teams that you're willing to be traded to? And if so, what teams are those?
We never really had that discussion. Mike really kind of threw it out there when we had our meeting at the end of the year, and then we never really discussed teams. So I think he's trying to do his thing, and
But you're not going to Columbus. There's no way in hell you want to go to Columbus.
well, I mean, I'd rather not talk specifics right now. I think there's a lot of stuff going on that
You can't go to Chicago. I mean, it'd be quite ironic because those fans there, they're terrible fans.
I know, but I've always said I like playing in Chicago, but
In a Canucks jersey.
exactly.
Roberto Luongo is joining us. He's here for the World Series of Poker. Somebody had mentioned to us that there was 3 things that you really wanted to achieve in your career. One of them was the Olympic gold.
Yep.
You have that.
Done.
Stanley Cup. You're still working on that one.
Yep.
And the World Series of Poker bracelet. Will you win the bracelet or the ring next? Oh, I guess actually it would have to be the
It'd be
bracelet
the
because you're in for
bracelet
that
first.
right
Yeah, I
now.
know. I mean, that's right now. I'm focused on the bracelet. I
Yeah.
mean, training camp's not for another couple months, so I'm gonna put my focus on that, and then once that's done, we're gonna try to go for that ring.
What do you know about training camp? The CBA, as we understand it, isn't ratified at
Yep.
this point. Is it going to be a delayed season? We were told that perhaps maybe it might not start on time.
I know. I've heard that as well, and it's tough to say. I think I can't see it being locked out again after what happened last time, but there are some issues there, and I don't know how long it's going to take to get them solved, and hopefully we're not going to miss any time at all because that would be a shame.
Roberto, what was more of a crushing defeat? Getting bounced by the Kings in 5 games this past playoffs, or seeing your Italian soccer team get smoked by the Spanish last week in Euro 2012?
That's a tough
Solid
one. I think the last one's the last one's still fresh, it was
Yeah,
back last week, so it's still an open wound. But
Do you yell at the TV during those games?
well, when you're Italian, you have no choice.
That's all I know. That's from The Sopranos. I don't even know what that means.
Roberto, one of my proudest moments as a Canadian was being at the Molson House when you brought the medal that you had just won and you had it around your daughter's neck. Where do you keep that medal?
It's at home with me. It was in Vancouver. Always bring it with me. If I'm in Vancouver during the season, it was with me there. And then when I go back home for the summer, it's always with me at all times. So, that's an incredible day. I'll never forget. Great moment, great memories, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that one for a while.
Is that not your card marker here for the World Series of Poker?
The gold,
The gold medal? You should put that on
That's
there.
the way to do it. You want
Yeah.
to throw it down?
You know what? That's a great. I forgot, or else I would have done it for sure.
You could get it perlated.
I don't know if it'll get here by tomorrow. But
What is your card marker? What is
you know what? I don't have one. I don't have one right now. I'm gonna go on a hunt today and try to find something that is gonna be fun and that I can use. And
What about a bracelet?
What about this?
Have
Yeah.
you opened that up? Have you
well,
seen
yeah,
it?
I saw this last night.
You were wearing it last night.
I
There's
know.
a photo posted at Strombone 1. I don't know where they got it.
No, it wasn't me. So
Is that not jinxing it though? Trying it on before you actually win it?
I don't know. I mean, they say it is, but I don't believe in that stuff. So it's all good.
I remember Scott and I played in, and so did Karen, in your Texas Hold'em tournament
Yeah.
that was at the
River Rock.
River Rock, and you did quite well. How many players were there? There's about 150 players in there.
There's 100.
Randy Neal was in there. Squire
Yeah.
Barnes,
A lot of
Tiger
celebrities.
Williams was
Gino
in there.
Ojak was
Randy
there.
Ojak.
But Roberto, out of
Fury.
the 3 of us, who do you think would last the longest in your
Out of the
tournament?
3 of us.
I've never seen any.
She kicked our
But just
ass. She-
I would say Karen for
yeah,
sure.
Karen kicked our ass, yeah. But you did quite well, though. How well did you do?
I think I finished second that tournament.
You see the way you did that? I think it was second.
I mean, second is first loser, so you can't be happy with that.
Nice.
Oh.
How come you weren't in the big? What's it called? The big one or the big drop? That $1 million buy-in?
Well, I mean, I couldn't afford it, and no, but to be honest with you, I didn't even know that they had that. This is the first year I've heard about it, and it is a big buy-in, but I don't think I'm ready to be at that level yet. But one day, maybe if the cards fall right.
Joining us, it's Roberto Luongo. We're going to take phone calls, but I want to ask the big question. The Canucks signed your friend Corey Schneider to a 3-year deal last week. They seemingly had no choice because they would have been in a bidding war with other teams in the free agent market. Did anybody call you, Roberto Luongo, before they signed Corey Schneider, and what are your thoughts on the 3-year deal?
Well, I think nobody called me, but I think that was to be expected. I mean, Corey, we've all seen what he's done in Vancouver the last couple of years. He's a tremendous talent, and I think the main thing that I like about him is he's got a great head on his shoulders, and he's the type of guy that's going to be able to handle the job and handle the pressure, of that market. And he's going to be a star in this league. There's no doubt about that, and I'm sure that he'll win a few Vezines.
Is there any chance in hell you're in a Canucks jersey this fall?
Well, I would never say never. I mean, you never know, but I think we all know what's going on, and we've all seen what's developed, and at the end of the day, I think it's time to move on, and I'm okay with that. I had a great 6 years in Vancouver. I think it's a wonderful city. I really enjoyed my time there. Unfortunately, I was not able to bring a Stanley Cup there, which is probably my biggest regret. But it'll be remembered for 6 great years.
Is Vancouver a good place to play in? I mean, you're going for groceries, you're getting your car full of gas, and the gas truck's like, "Hey, Luongo, you stunk last night." You get all that stuff. Is it nice playing in Vancouver because the fans are so passionate, or is it nice to go to like you played in Florida and the Islanders sucked balls there and nobody cared? So, but it's not that big a thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I've never had a bad a negative encounter face to face with a person. It's always
they don't have the balls.
They don't have the balls to do it to
It's got to piss you off reading what critics may say behind your back, but then when they meet you, can I get a photo? Can you sign my shirt?
That's the name of the game, I guess, and you want to be playing in a hockey market. That's fun, and that's what hockey's all about, and being in front of a packed building every night. I mean, that makes the game fun. So it's definitely a great market to play in.
All right, joining us in the Bacon Suite at Caesar's Palace. He's here for the World Series of Poker. It's our, can we say our friend?
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's our friend Roberto Luongo with his first major interview in Vancouver since the season ended. Are you willing to take a few phone calls from the good Fox listeners?
Sure.
We'll take a break. We'll take your calls right now for Roberto Luongo, 280-CFOX. We'll take your calls right now.
Hello. You got a phone call. Jeff O'Neill Show presents Open Phones, bitches.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition for Open Phones. My name is Jeff, along with Scott, Karen, and our new friend, Roberto Luongo. Live from the Bacon Suite at Caesar's Palace. We'll take your calls on any topic right now, 280-CFOX. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? We do have some rules today on Open Phones. Nobody from Los Angeles.
Is that for our Whitecaps?
Still not over it. No.
Oh.
Roberto's right here.
I'm over that. We're
Are
over
you?
that. Yes.
That's in honor of the Whitecaps. That's what I meant.
Yes, we're over that. We're moving on to the next season.
Roberto, who was the biggest prick job on the Kings there? Was Dustin Brown a real goofball? Was he saying mean things to you?
I know. I hate to say this because he was my teammate with Team Canada, Richards.
So it's him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Richards?
Yeah, he was. I don't know.
He's a dick? One free punch, he's the guy you're going to
For
do?
lack of a better word, yeah.
I was going to say asshole, but it seemed a little bit harsh, so let's go with dick. It's a little bit better. Today on Open Phones, nobody from Hamilton.
Go, you Lions, go.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, we do have a special guest, so please be on your best behavior. Joining us is Roberto Luongo. This is a family program. There are children listening, so God damn it, don't swear. Let's go to line 1, Jared in Vancouver. Go ahead, Jared. It's Open Phones.
Hey, how's everyone going?
Good, how you doing?
Cool. Okay, quick question for Luongo. You played in obviously two very different markets. Florida, I guess hockey players aren't very well known there or whatever, and then Vancouver is completely polar opposite. Is there one that you prefer to play in?
You know what? Obviously, I think playing a hockey market is great. I think that would be my preference for sure. I mean, sometimes playing in a place like Florida, the anonymity also is nice to be able to go somewhere and maybe have a dinner with your family and able to relax and stuff. But when you're on the ice, you want to be playing in a building that's rocking and that's sold out, and the fans are passionate about their team. So for sure, I think as a hockey player, you always want to be in that type of market.
Roberto, post game for the Panthers, how many media personnel are coming in and asking you questions after the game when you're a Panther versus when it's for the Canucks? Because I know Scott and I have been in there before. There's literally, it's shoulder to shoulder. You can't put anybody else in the room asking questions, and that's for a game in mid-December.
Yeah.
So is it really the polar opposite down in Florida?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since I played there, but from what I remember, I'd say maybe a handful of guys. That's depending on who we play, but usually, 4 or 5 guys is tops.
And they really didn't know your name? Yeah, so you are...
They call it number one.
Let's go to line 2. Brian, go ahead, Brian. It's Open Phones.
Hey, guys. Thanks for the call. So I have one question for Luongo. I'm a diehard Wings fan, always have been, and I'm a defender of Luongo. I think the Canucks are losing their best player. Obviously Florida's on your radar for family reasons, but to me, if you want to win a cup, the obvious choice is Chicago. Would you play there?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of cities that are great to play in. I mean, and Chicago is definitely one of them. But I think you got to realize that it works both ways. There's not only me involved in the decision. It would also be a question of if the Blackhawks would be interested, and if the team would be interested in trading me there, and if I'd be willing to go there. So there's more than just me that needs to decide where I want to go.
Steve Nash just left $9 million on the table, so he didn't have to go to Toronto. He wanted to play in LA, closer to his family in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself leaving money on the table in order to not go to a market that you don't want to go to?
Well, my contract's set, so I can't really leave money anywhere. It is what it is, and maybe that's a bit of a handicap for me right now as far as being able to decide as far as how many teams are really interested in my services. So. There's a few teams on there that would be willing to look at, but obviously Florida is my home in the off season, and it makes sense family reasons why. But at the end of the day, it's hockey also, and there's not many years left in my career. Even though I got a long contract, I want to be focused on having a chance to do something.
Could you go to Chicago and enjoy that Chelsea Dagger song? My God.
I like that song, man. It's sketchy. It's sketchy.
Well, we heard it a fair bit over the past couple of years.
I heard it 7 times in one game.
Hey, Roberto, was it just a verbal agreement between you and Mike Gillis to say that you'd be willing to waive your no trade clause? Could you come back tomorrow and say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to instill my no trade clause, and I want to stay in Vancouver? Is that within your rights? Would you do that? Could you do that?
Well, it is within my rights, but I think it's really time to move on. I don't think it was either one of us that really neither I demanded a trade or Mike suggested that I leave, but I think it was just more of a mutual understanding that it was time for me to go and Corey to take over.
Let's go to line 3 on the island. It's Dallas. Good morning, Dallas. It's open phones.
Morning, guys.
How you doing?
How you doing, Robert?
Good.
Just so you know, over the years, it's been a pleasure watching you take us through the Cup. Unfortunately,
Well, thank you.
I haven't been able to grasp it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Curious what your plans are. Like, obviously, you got your family there in Florida, and would you see yourself throwing on a Florida jersey come the start of the season, or are there other places that you'd be willing to trade to?
Well, like I said, I mean, it's tough to say because Mike Gillis is obviously in charge of the negotiations and making the trade. I mean, Florida is definitely one of the spots I'd be willing to go to. So, to be honest with you, I haven't had much communication with Mike. I mean, he keeps me updated once in a while, and when something will be close to happening, that's when I'll have to make a decision. But for right now, to be honest with you, I haven't really made any decisions whatsoever.
Would you be pissed if you got traded for like a puck bag or something? Does it matter who's going the other way?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. I think there's so many different ways to look at the trade from different perspectives, and maybe they just want to clear the cap room. Who knows? I mean, but for me, I think it's got to be a place where I'm comfortable with, and that's what matters.
So I go to line 4, Ron in Mission. Go ahead, Ron. It's open phones.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Right on. Hey, just wanted to give a big woo.
Thanks, bud. Thank you.
Man, I'm going to miss you, bud. If you go, I'm going to miss you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Times, clenching my couch, pounding beers, screaming at you. Love you, man.
Well, screaming at you. Well, that's not a surprise.
Roberto, how many times in a day do you sign your autograph? Because I know that when you came in here last night, there was the little soiree, the little party. What did you call it earlier?
It was a mixer.
A mixer. We had a mixer
last night.
for
Didn't
the
we?
World Series of Poker players.
I like to call those a meet and creep because a lot of people want to meet you and some people stay and linger too long. So it's a bit creepy. So it's not a meet and greet. It's more of a meet and creep.
Well, it depends how much alcohol the person's consumed. So
That is true.
the more alcohol, the creepier usually is the situation.
But we left here, went over to the club afterwards.
Yeah.
Yesterday alone, how many times did you sign your name? How many photos did you pose for?
I don't know. I would say
in the hundreds, in the thousands.
For sure. No, hundreds. I would say hundreds. It wasn't too crazy. It was a pretty good night. I mean, once we were out of this suite and went downstairs, it was pretty quiet, so it was good.
We had a number of questions along these lines, and you know what? I kind of like this, so I'm going to ask it, although I think I know the answer. Ask Roberto if Bieksa or Mike Gillis have ever warned you about the three of us. Because we've had run-ins with Mike Gillis.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He won't take our calls anymore. And Kevin Boom Boom Bieksa, although you call him Juice, we call him Boom Boom. he took the summer off. He said, "No, thank you. I don't want to talk to you guys this summer." Because we've talked to Kevin probably 100 different times.
Okay. Did something happen there?
And did he not? Did he not finish it with "Go ask the stupid questions to someone else"?
I think
something along those lines.
So now I'm the guy.
Yeah. Sorry.
But following in those lines, you're about to find out why Mike Gillis won't return our calls anymore. Over to you, Scott.
Roberto, we have a standard question we ask a lot of people. We asked Mike Gillis. We've asked Kevin Bieksa. We've asked all sorts of people, politicians. And
it's not the pee in the shower question, is it?
Oh, it's worse.
Or better, depending. It's along those lines.
Just remember, there's no wrong answer.
Yes, and I've done it in. I've got it in Italian.
Really?
Yes.
Are you going to read it in Italian?
I'm going to read it in Italian. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Because we did this in Spanish for Mario Gutierrez.
Yes.
Yeah. Who is Capucha.
Yeah, Capucha. So Roberto Luongo, still the Vancouver Canuck, number one in your heart. Are you tagliata o grezzo?
What? That's not Italian, man.
I Google translated last night coming home from the bar, so maybe I did it different, but I'll give it to you in English. Roberto Luongo, are you cut or uncut?
No. No wrong answer. And remember, they're going to post the answer on Strongbone 1 later today.
Uncut in every way, man.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
See, no wrong answer.
Now you know why Mike Gillis hung up on us.
Well, I don't blame him, man.
Oh, I got a feeling you might walk out now. That's why we save the questions at the very end of the interview.
Yeah, I'm going to say. People just get up and walk out.
I'll follow it up with one a little quicker, an easier one here. You've always got lovely hair. People want to know what kind of a hair care product do you use. Is it a dippity-doo? Is it some sort of
just the natural Italian oils that I emulate for my scalp.
They give you that great deal?
Yeah, it's natural stuff.
People know.
All right, you can follow him on Twitter at Strombo. Well, I have it written down there. You can learn more about Roberto, not saying it is him, if you follow the website, the Twitter site at Strombone1, because they seem to have they're dialed in on what you're doing on a regular basis.
I'm going to check it out this afternoon.
You can watch from at the poker tables as well. Hopefully a Vancouver Canuck for years to come. But regardless, he'll always be, as Scott just mentioned, number one in our hearts. Roberto Luongo, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It was fun.
The Jeff O'Neill Show, weekday mornings 6 to 10, only on 99.3 The Fox.